ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
I was so engulfed in this book. And we're cursing. Harry's. Get it together, Bannon. You can't be reading memoirs and cursing on your show right from the get-go. Hi, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. Welcome to the Roundtable. I'm so excited for you to be here. I'm excited to be here because I really like tonight's show. Tonight's show is a good one. It's fun. It's great people. It's got people that I love on it. How you doing? How's everyone feeling? I hope you had a great week. I feel like it's been a really long time. Last time we were here, we had Wilson Jermaine Heredia from Rent. And now people are texting me. And then we also had Blair St. Clair, who's doing her show at Green Room 42. So I hope break legs to them. I heard Wilson's show was amazing, and I'm so happy you're here. My name is Robert Bannon. Welcome to the Roundtable. This is a show where artists talk about art, and if you want more information about me, you can go to robertbannon.com. But don't worry, you'll hear plenty about me. I'm sure you will. If you like the show, make sure you can like, comment, share, and subscribe it. It's good to see you all here. Hi, Pilot Kevin. Whoo, that's my Kevin. That's my Kevin in my class. And hi, Adeline. How you doing? Nice to see you all here listening to me curse. Great. Woo! Teacher of the Year. So everybody, we're gonna have a good show. We're gonna have a really good show for you all here tonight. That I can promise you, it's a good one. You all doing okay? Everyone's doing well. I'm happy to see that you're here. Everyone is a little bit late. I ran the Instagram pre-show really late, so we're running a little behind schedule here today for sure. Let's get started, shall we? It is time for, I know you're saying it at home, the Week in Review, where I tell you about the things that I did and the things that I got to do. Well, I had a fun time at the week of... No, I did not curse, Kevin. I don't curse, ever. So I had a really fun time this weekend. I got to do something very, very special, and that was to see my Martinique Pitson. Martinique Pitson is a student that I met when she was 5th grade. Her parents were looking for her to have a tutor, and by some divine intervention, they found me. And I was with my Martinique from 5th grade all the way till she was a senior. And now she goes to Keene, and she's going to school for recreation programming. And she's doing so well, and she came so far, and I don't get to see her very often anymore. We spent every single Saturday morning together to tutor and talk about life and listen to music. And I'm so proud of the woman that she's become. She's inspired me. She's had a tough life, and she doesn't ever feel sorry for herself. And she just gets up and works hard every single day. If you think I have a good work ethic, this one right here is the reason that I sure do. And I got to see her and hang out with her, and we had dinner together. And I'm so incredibly proud of my Martinique. She is quite the star to me. She taught me how to TikTok. So you want to see me here? You know how it feels. Now you know why I don't do musicals anymore. Because did you see that? What was that? What was going on there? But we had a lot of fun. So thanks to Keene University. Thank you. We went to Mighty Quinns. We had a really nice time. And it was a quiet weekend. It was a pretty quiet weekend. I didn't do too much of really anything. So it was a nice time. Definitely had a nice time had by all. Let's see what's going on. Hey, Abby, how are you doing? I know you had a tough week, so hang in there, my friend. I'm thinking about you. Christine, hey, Christine is back. Christine is back and better than ever. She went to Washington, D.C. to see the one and only John McDaniels, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I can't wait to hear more about it from you. Thanks so much. Let's get started. Let's do a shameless plug, shall we?
Because I'm shameless.
Yeah, so there's so much going on here in Team Roundtable. I have a big announcement next week about an in-person roundtable that's going to take place at Chelsea Table and Stage for free. You can come be in the studio audience of an actual taping of the show. It's called Roundtable on the Rocks. We're partnering with my friend of the On the Rocks podcast that's out in LA. So I'll have more information about that for you then. Yes, I do have a show at 54 Below, and yes, you should come see it. Everyone should come see it. It's on June 2nd. You can get information at robertbannon.com. Tickets are on sale, and apparently people are buying them. So grab one. Grab a ticket. Come on down. Come on down and see me sing a whole bunch of stuff that is a trip, because it is not going to be my sad unfinished business show. It's not going to be my growing up show. It's going to be a turn it out party with a lot of special guests. We're going to have very, very fun special guests there. Broadway, drag, music, everything. It is going to be an explosion. June 2nd, the first Friday of Pride, 54 Below, 9:30. You better turn it out. I want to see sequins, glitter, feather, everything. Everything. Go to robertbannon.com, get your tickets. Make sure you are there. And also, you know, when I'm in my spare time and I'm not teaching kids doing the show, doing that, I also have a program that I started to help inspire people and get information to show the work that it takes to be an artist. And it's a program that I called the Broadway Cast Reunion Series that I created myself. And we're coming back with 4 of them this year. And I'm proud to announce the 4 of them for the first time. It's Jelani Remy, who's going to be here with us in person. You have to be here in person, March 11th in New Jersey at Stageworks Pompton Lakes. If you want to come and be one of the 70 people who get to ask him questions and then take a picture with him and meet him, it's not a masterclass. It's like inside the actor's studio. He's going to tell you his journey and his story as a little guy from Cedar Grove, New Jersey, who ends up being Simba in The Lion King. And just for you, Jennifer Holliday of Jennifer Holliday, Carrie Butler of Beetlejuice and Mean Girls, and Eden Espinosa of Wicked and Rent and Brooklyn are ending the season. So 4 powerhouse performers, 4 legends, all coming to Stageworks, and we have big things in the works. Nothing is done small here. We come up with a new idea literally every day in this one-man band. And if you like my music and my unfinished business music, we're in the process of taking that music from the record label that it was put out on and owning my masters and creating new music. So there's a Rewind live album and there's a Christmas album coming out this year too. So you'll hear me be talking about this for the next 12 months. You'll be so freaking tired of me talking about my products and my shows and new shows and more concerts that you'll be sick and tired of it. But you come and you support it, and I'm the most grateful, happy, sweet, and appreciative person on the planet, because you make my dreams come true over and over again. And I'm so incredibly grateful for all of you. So thank you for this special shameless plug for sure. For sure. Thank you, Janelle. Yes, yes, sequins. Yes. I want all the sequins, Christine. I'm ready for it. And yes, my mother. Hey, yay, my mom. My mom's going to tell you, give me money. Give my son money if you want to Venmo and support this show, just like you would support anything. You know, if you went out, we put on this entertainment for free. I do it from the love of my heart. You don't have to pay anything. Obviously, being here is more than enough. But if you want to support the show, you can Venmo at R. Bannon, and that money goes to promote the show. The more views we get, the more people come on. You know, and it's a numbers game. It's a social media game. It's a influencer game. It's a how many views did you get? And the more we advertise and get new viewers to watch the show, the more guests we get. But we have a pretty damn good lineup of guests coming up for the month of February, if I may say. February, we celebrate the best and brightest on the stage. You know, June is going to be around the corner with Tony season, and we're sometimes Broadway babies, we're sometimes queer LGBT babies, and we're sometimes drag babies, we're sometimes TV babies, and we're sometimes music babies, we're sometimes TikTok social media babies. But we are going to be celebrating theater this month of February. We have the cast of & Juliet, who's blowing up New York City. There'll be 4 members will be here. The amazing, and I bet my car, soon to be Tony nominated Jay Harrison Gee of Some Like It Hot will be here. The cast of Hercules. That's right. My good friend Bradley Gibson, who's playing Hercules at the Paper Mill Playhouse, and it's coming to Broadway, as well as Kwame and Robert Horn, who are Tony winners, writers, will be here. The cast of the national tour of Les Mis. So if you're around the country and Les Mis is in your neck of the woods, we'll have them, the main all here. Maxfield Haynes is here, the first prima ballerina at the Met. They are one of the most beautiful dancers and beautiful humans I've ever met, and I can't wait for you to hear from them. Justin Cooley. I just saw Justin Cooley and Kimberly Akimbo. Oh, I saw Kimberly Akimbo. And Justin Cooley is a superstar, and Justin Cooley will be here, as well as Rose from Titanic and from Drag Race, the House of Kardashian herself. Rose will be here as well. So if you are here for all of that, join me every single week on the shows on Thursday, plus the Roundtable Talks. We are booked. February's booked, done. I'm doing interviews now for March. So thank you. Amen. There is a God who sends me really wonderful, amazing celebrities and people who are interesting, and you watch. And I'm so grateful because you give me this show and this platform, and it means the world to me that you are here every single week. Thank you. I like this list. Some months I'm like, that list? That's a list, y'all. That's a list. Here you go. I know you love this. Christine, this is for you.
I'll be there for you. How you doing?
She loves it. She has a dance. She told me her mom and her have a dance. I'll be there for you. How you doing is Wendy Williams. Y'all know that, right? So just in case you don't know, now you do. Mr. Bannon, I made you something in the comments of that video you did with Angel Taylor. So Angel Taylor of Trinity 5'7" wants to have dinner, and maybe the most gorgeous person I've ever met. So I'm going to have to check that out for you. For sure. Kev, thank you for making that. I'm going to look in there. No one can resist your one. Oh, Abby, you got the job already. You already got it. You don't have to butter me up anymore. You don't have to, I promise. The passion of the Roundtable. That's an interesting word. I'm passionate about art. I'm passionate for sure to talk to artists. See, that's for you, Christine. Hey, friend. Hey. Well, I heard from a really good friend and a famous one at that, someone that's really been wonderful and special to me, the wonderfully and charming Jane Bonheit. I posted last night. I got home. I did a 17-hour day. I did 4 interviews. I taught all day. I had to go host karaoke as a favor. And I had a whole bunch going on. I went to the gym. It was a long day of meetings, etc. And I came home beat. And I wrote this message like, you want to be an artist? Do you think you know what it takes to be an artist? Do you think you know what it takes to do something like this? And I kind of was in my feelings about life. And I wrote like, don't be passive aggressive to me, because somebody, a friend of mine, I felt like we were fighting and they weren't saying what I thought they wanted them to say. And she knows better, and I would rather her just come out and say it. So I posted, I'm 40. Okay, I'm 40, so you don't have to be passive aggressive. Just say it like you mean it. And my friend Jane Bonheit, who is the Grammy nominated jazz superstar, said, I promise your 40s are going to be amazing. I'm 45 and I have grown more and become more free than I ever imagined. And neither of us look it. I was 18 years old when I first saw Jane Bonheit do a show at my first job. And sometimes this is all just surreal. So yeah, speaking of, it's a small world after all. I promise I take time to rest. I promise, Christine, I will. I do. I love nothing more than my Saturday night curled up, somewhere comfy, and shut the world off. I don't usually go out or work on Saturdays very much at all. Yes, there you go. Thanks, Janelle. I promise you I take care of myself. And some of you who know me and watch the show often know that the gym is like my refuge, and it's my place where I go after this, and I kind of decompress so I can go to sleep. And I've been going to bed really early, actually, which is good. I was up at like 4:30 in the morning. Brandon Victor Dixon and me have history, and I can't wait to show you what he has to say. He's a big star, and he was here not too long ago. And I hope you enjoy this fun little moment. Guest has been on stages and screens for, oh my goodness, I was looking at the list of credits, but I don't even know if he's not going to remember this. But we, in his Hamilton days, had the same trainer. We had the same workout time. He would work out on one side of the gym hard, and then I would pretend to work out softly. On the other side of the gym, the incredibly talented Brandon Victor Dixon is he. That's a long time ago, Brandon.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago, Robert. I mean, it was a bit ago, but I think we both retained our form. We both retained our form.
Don't tell Roger Covington about my COVID weight gain or any lack of muscle definition.
I'm literally calling him this week because it's time to deal with. It's time to deal with my December. It's time to deal with my December.
I hear you.
Not my 2022.
Well, Brandon, you were there. Javi was there.
Yep.
Ryan Terrell Clark was there, and then a school teacher from New Jersey was there, and I realized I don't make enough money to go to this gym.
Why do you think I haven't seen him for a couple of years?
I heard that. Well, it's so good to see you. We're going to talk all sorts of things. We're going to talk about a new album, an idea. We're going to talk about producing. We're going to talk about television, theater, all of the fun things that you get to be a part of. But you're from Maryland, and at what age and stage of your life did you realize that you wanted to be an artist, that this bug bit you?
I'm very fortunate. I came into this world knowing exactly kind of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to be. So from a very young age, this is the first thing I ever recall wanting to be or do. And so therefore I was able to make choices that helped bring that about, in a relatively efficient manner. And also I was, thankfully, I grew up in an environment and in a county that understood the importance of arts education. So it was just, I was immersed in it. So it helped develop me as a human being. And then my interests were allowed to kind of develop along with that as time went on.
It's so important. It's so great to have an environment that really fosters that kind of love. And then you're no slouch. You went to pretty fancy schools, Brandon.
I did. I'm grateful. I have a really top education that's available in this country. My parents worked very hard. They're Jamaican, so I'm a first generation American. And the school system in Jamaica, was the curriculum operated at some higher levels of sophistication in the 80s and 90s than some of the public schools that were around when my parents came to this country. So they worked very hard, very lower middle class jobs to put me in these schools. So it was very challenging, myself and my brothers. But fortunately, my brothers and I have put that education to use and are able to support my parents in their older age and just thank them for what they did for us.
It's beautiful. So your professional career started. When did you decide to move to New York? You were in New York for school, and then you just start the audition process. How did it all start for you?
I applied to. I wanted to come to school in New York. For me, I always thought very practically about my career. In school, I performed more than I studied or was in class. When I was thinking about trying to make my way to make a future for myself, I knew I wanted to go to college either in New York or Los Angeles or maybe Chicago. I chose New York because Broadway was always my number one dream. And I applied to Columbia University here in the city, and I also applied to Juilliard, which is a conservatory program. I got into Columbia first. I got into Columbia early, and because I had interests outside of the arts, I decided to go there and also because I understand that as an artist, we are conduits, right? We're conduits for experience, for a emotional perspective and channeling. And so therefore, the more information, the more experience, the more contact I have with people, cultures, topics outside of just the skills that have to do with my art, the better an artist, the better an actor and performer I'll be, because I'll be able to synthesize more. I will have been in contact with more things. So that's what brought me to Columbia, the goal of being on Broadway. And I started, I pretty much started in my sophomore year trying to find representation on backstage, looking for auditions, like the whole old school gamut.
Old school. The kids don't know about the backstage anymore. Definitely not the newspaper version.
Yeah.
Time gone by. Well, can we talk little walk down memory lane of some of your credits and things that you've done? It's a national tour wise back in the day. There's a Lion King moment. There's a Simba tour, and of course I remember this show. There's the Color Purple.
Fields.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And then you get to go on to play the Berry Gordy in Motown, and what a fun show that was. Everyone worked their face off.
Absolutely. That was a real dream, actually.
It was, and then talk about work and working with an amazing cast of people and being on there. There's Shuffle Along. No slouches in that cast. That cast was.
That was also a real dream. I've been really blessed. I've gotten to work on a few masterpieces in my life, and Shuffle Along is one of them. And the first Broadway show I saw was Ragtime with Audra McDonald and Brian Stokes Mitchell. So being on stage with them and Shuffle Along was a real full circle moment for me.
It's such a beautiful. I wish I should have stuck to tap lessons. That's what I thought about while I was there. And then, of course, we would be remiss to not talk about this moment and juggernaut of a moment for sure, which I got to see you in, and your command. Brett, your voice is beautiful. Your acting is beautiful, but the command, your presence is just such a powerful presence on stage. And I don't know another role like that. Role of Bert is such a powerful role in of itself. So
it is. It definitely is.
And then your television, Brandon, you're just pop up on TVs and musicals like this, and then you took the entire musical theater television world by storm, sprouting and singing keys and notes that no one should be able to sing live on television. How dare you do us all like that? In Jesus Christ Superstar. How was the transition? Was it a conscious choice? We've talked to a lot of actors, especially theater actors, the transition to television. Was that a move that was conscious? Did it just happen? Were you ready to try to tackle another medium?
No, it was conscious. I mean, look, it's something that starts happening kind of naturally and gradually. When you get representation and you have a team of people who are looking for opportunities to see how they can grow your career and your experience. But certainly after I'd done a certain number of shows, had a number of theatrical experiences, there were other kinds of artistic experiences I was looking for. And what's interesting is I never really thought too much about television and film. Broadway had always kind of been the dream and the goal. And so once you kind of achieve your dream, then your world expands and you want to think about, all right, well, how else can I expand? And so I think that's how that happened.
Awesome. Amazing. And I just saw you. Angelica Ross was just here, and we just went over and we just checked you out in Chicago. And it was so fun to go back to see that show and to see the work and nuances that you all put into that show. It was a real blast not too long ago.
Thank you. It was fun.
It looked like a lot of fun up there. So you've expanded television, theater, and producing.
Mm-hmm.
And was that just a natural progression as well, to just start to be able to put work that you were moved by or liked up on stage?
Yes, it was both as a result of I've done a lot of original shows and I've worked with some really brilliant creatives. So I have had the unique opportunity to really learn how shows are made, develop my instincts about what works and what does not work. And so, as I've continued to build shows, I have wanted to have greater levels of influence over the creative process, as well as wanting to be able to participate in the success of whatever creative endeavor I have engaged in, even after I'm no longer on stage on a daily basis. And so it was a strategic move to create greater levels of control and influence as I got involved with projects that I was inspired by, and to continue to profit from them as the rest of the creators do after I've contributed to them. But also, I have found for myself in this industry, I have been very fortunate and being very blessed to be welcomed into spaces and into opportunities. And I'm surrounded by really talented colleagues of mine that have not necessarily been welcomed into those spaces maybe as swiftly as I have, or with the level of efficiency. And so a great desire from me has been to bring people into those rooms with me, to open those doors for others. And that's really what I tried to do with my production company. That's, with my original production company that I took on my original partner. I really wanted to bring him into the business and try and create some other opportunities for him. And also he's talented. And so we were able to collaborate well together. And now, working on my own projects, it's still the same kind of thing, looking for creatives who have ideas and who have projects that are inspiring, that touch social issues that the world can really embrace and see if I can put the pieces together to help those projects come to life.
Well, that's really, really exciting to see what the future holds and what art you're going to create. That's really exciting. And well, speaking of new art, and we're here to talk a little bit about the MacGyver album. You're singing on the MacGyver. Speaking of new art, you have solo new art. It went to Texas of all places.
Yeah.
And tell us, how did something like this is the album MacGyver, the album, the world premiere recording, it comes out this month, the end of the month. How did someone reach out to you, and what made you say, like, this, what is it about this show that struck your fancies?
Well, actually, the producers are colleagues from mine from the nonprofit world. And we connected just on social issues and on community issues, and the intersection of art and community, and how art bridges the gaps between communities and bridges the gap between difference. And kind of in that, and actually he one of the individuals passed last year, but he introduced me to his partner Lee, who's the original creator of the TV show and the character MacGyver. And told me that they were developing this. They had an idea. They're like, look, it's kind of a crazy idea. Just hear us out. Kind of a crazy idea to turn MacGyver into a musical. And I said, one, I love MacGyver. I watched it as a kid growing up with my father. Oh yeah, my father it was my father's favorite show. So we would sit down in the evenings and we would watch MacGyver together. And I was like, actually, I think it could be a really unique show, particularly if you tried to do it, kind of stunt theater, avant, immersive theater style. And one of the initial ideas that they had that they were working to explore, which I thought was really clever and could really work, was that, the kicker for the show is that in each performance, an audience member gets to play MacGyver. That is the unique and fun, interesting element of it. Besides the great music and the wonderful writing, that's kind of the kicker. And so at the beginning of the show for 10 minutes, there's a 10-minute audition just before the show where 3 or 4 volunteers get up and they act a line or they sing a line and they dance, and they let the audience, by their applause, choose who gets to be MacGyver that night. We say the lead actor, there was an accident, he can't make it to the theater tonight, but the show must go on. And we've had MacGyvers of all genders, ranging in age from 18 to 85. So it's a really cool thing.
That is the most fun and funny. What a clever idea! What a fun, walking without a net kind of,
Yeah.
Well,
you see the show, maybe you get to be MacGyver.
I'm putting it top credit on my resume. MacGyver, done. That's it. You could stream it starting on January 27th, or you can buy that CD. It's on Amazon or on Broadway Records, and you can stream it and you can hear all of this great music. What a really fun, it definitely, when I saw the nostalgia of it and the thinking about it and the parodies of MacGyver, if it's Saturday Night Live or everything that happened, it's become a verb or an adjective. You're going to MacGyver.
MacGyver is definitely a verb. And I think that's really cool about MacGyver is that, and I'm thinking back to this now. MacGyver is a character, and the nature of him and how he operates is relatively universal. I know the show's been translated into a bunch of different languages, so it's gone across the globe and it's still in syndication. But we think about these things in terms of these kind of binary racial and social streams lately, but you know, I hate doing that. But even it's like when I think back, I'm like, yeah, like no matter what environment I'm in, because I was in various different environments. I was always in different groups of people. I was like, you know, I was with black, white, guy, girl, non-binary, whatever. Like people all really had an affinity for MacGyver and what the MacGyver thing. It's like I'm going to MacGyver this. I'm gonna have to, and a real enthusiasm for the ingenuity of that character, and so it's very unique. And I hope I think that we've captured that in the show, and I really hope people enjoy the CD and get a chance to come see it when it comes to their town.
Absolutely. So I can't wait to check it out. And I hope that as it moves around and does its thing, I can't wait to be able to check it out. What a neat idea. I love the idea of like immersive, creative, new ways to put art out. That's just brilliant. You said you have your own nonprofit organization that you do work with. What is it that you do over at We Are, and what is the where did the idea come from to start to jump into this world?
I mean, really, the idea came from just social empathy and responsibility, the desire to, I mean, I've always done a lot of nonprofit work and tried to advocate for others. So the desire to try and create a vehicle that could just hone that in more ways than one. And really, we work with local community groups to use the intersection of art and advocacy to bridge the gaps between communities. And that manifests itself in different ways from year to year. But when we initially started, it was during the election year, really trying to foster get local election information to communities, particularly lower income communities in, say, Jacksonville, Detroit. Those are the two main areas that we really focused on, and creating initiatives that integrate the community with the arts and with local political and social issues.
That is like my language. I was a poli-sci major and a theater minor, and because if you can't be in theater, politics is it's the same thing. And
in theater, then politics is the way to figure out how you can be in theater.
That's a real word right there. And I love those two worlds together because I feel like art is such a representation of society, and that's what we have as in historic. So it's really fantastic. You're so inspiring, Brandon. You're just like
that, Robert. Thank
you. You really are, because you wear all the different hats, but you always use them and your voice for something greater. And it's not just about an award or a show or a television show. You, at your heart, you always there's so much substance and real empathy and care and compassion for others, and that's a beautiful, rare thing. So thank you for sharing your art and heart with all of us for all of these years. I can't wait to see what's next.
I can't wait to show you, though I'm going to have to.
Everybody, if you want more information, you can follow Brandon on all of the socials, on Instagram or his website, and make sure to check out MacGyver the Musical starting on the 27th of January. Stream the album and purchase the album wherever music is sold. Brandon, it's so good to see you again. Thank you so much for being here. I had such a good time seeing him in Chicago. I had such a good time seeing him in Hamilton. I had such a good time seeing him shuffle along. I had such a good time in seeing him in everything that he's done. He's such a wonderful guy. He's such a good person, and he's such a wonderful talent. So MacGyver the Musical, who knows? Maybe it's going to be amazing. Maybe it's going to be the next thing. It was so fascinating when I saw his name was attached to it and they brought it to me. I couldn't wait. Yeah, Brandon's such a star. You see Jesus Christ Superstar, he was Judas. You saw Rent live on TV, he was Collins. He is on Power he is just a superstar. He's a wonderful guy. So there's a show going on. I've talked about it a lot. I've talked about it. It's called Some Like It Hot. It is a blast. And I really, really love it. And I hope when you come up here to see me in June, if you're coming to come see me in June, or if you're coming to New York sooner, you check it out. Make sure you get your tickets to come see Some Like It Hot. We had a chance to speak to Ashley Hale. She is the dance captain. She's in charge. When you see the show, they are dancing their faces off. They are tapping from left to right, from right to left, and up and down and all around. And she's wonderful and fantastic. And I'm so excited to share with you what does it take to be a dance captain on a big old Broadway dancing show. Ashley Hale, Broadway star from Some Like It Hot, is here. So I've heard about the show. We've had Mark Shaman on the show before, and we've talked about the show, and we've been waiting for the show for a long time. And Some Like It Hot came and exploded on Broadway a couple of weeks ago. I had the chance to come see a couple of my friends that happen to be in the show and be in the house. And may I say that I think it's the most fun Broadway show that's out right now. It is a blast, and we have I'm so excited. You dance? Ashley Elizabeth Hale is here. She's the dance captain of Some Like It Hot. Ashley, I promise you this much. You will never have to teach me to dance because I can't do a tenth of what y'all are doing up there.
We're busy. We're really busy. Yeah, there's a lot of dancing in the show. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
I mean, I was out with Demarius Copes the other day, and I showed him my shuffle off to Buffalo, and I think he was impressed.
I'm sure he was. Yeah.
I'm coming for.
We just build from there. It's fine. Totally fine.
But that's my only move, Ashley. That's all I remembered from tap.
That's all you need if you said. That's all you need.
Well, before we get started and talk a little bit more about you, I just want to say that if you want to get your tickets, if you're looking for something fun to do, especially in these winter months when it's a weekend and you have nothing to do, Valentine's Day, something exciting to do and take someone special, go see Some Like It Hot. Grab your tickets at somelikeithotmusical.com. The word is building, the crowds are growing, and this show is definitely worth checking out for sure. So a little bit about you. You were not growing up tap dancing at Broadway Dance down the block from the theater. Where are you originally from?
No, I'm originally from Scotland, although I was born in Chicago, so I have 2 passports. So I'm so lucky I can come and go as I please. So I grew up in Scotland, lived in London for a long time, and I worked on the West End. And then I'm super stubborn. So I thought, okay, that's New York and Broadway sounds really hard. Let's go and do that. And then I've been here for 10 years. It's just flown.
So growing up, what styles of dance did you practice and study?
Mostly just ballet. I grew up doing ballet. And then I was in a company when I was very young, and it wasn't the best experience. And I thought, this is supposed to be more fun. And then I discovered musical theater and all the people that come in the world of musical theater. And I thought, oh, this is definitely where I want to be. So yeah, that's how I kind of transitioned.
Well, you're an actor, you're a singer, you're a dancer, you're an assistant director, you're a choreographer, you do voiceovers, you are a true artist at heart. At what age did you realize that? I call it a disease. At what age did you catch this?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
What age did you get this disease and said, like, arts is where I belong?
Well, I think it's when you're growing up, I was lucky enough to have so many opportunities that given to me by my family and super encouraging teachers. Teachers are so important. And so I was really lucky in that I had any opportunity that I wanted. So I really had a chance to try out lots of things. But then when I was trying to decide between do I go into academia or the arts, I just couldn't imagine my life without the arts. And so I thought, okay, if you're going to do it, you need to throw yourself into it. And then the more that I've worked and stayed in the business, I just love discovering other aspects. You can be working on an opera. You're like, hello. Or you could just be you're working on a musical, or you're helping people develop something else. It's there's so many things within the world of art that's super exciting, and also what individuals bring. With any collaboration, that's super exciting and challenging and all of the things. So yeah, I just love it. Yeah.
For sure. Well, we went deep in the archives. We found a couple of little moments, like here's your Starlight Express moment.
Starlight Express. Yeah, I was Buffy.
That's a fun costume and a whole rollerblading and all.
Straight out of Vegas, that costume. Yeah, we'll take that show on tour.
Here's a little Mamma Mia moment.
Oh, that show is so much fun to do. That's
The
brilliant.
music is fun. The whole thing is just a party. Broadway debut here.
Oh gosh.
of Matilda.
Oh,
You
so that's at the Schubert where we are now.
I was going to say, it's like you literally probably have your own dressing room reserved with your name on it. That's your spot.
Yeah, that's how it works on Broadway.
Actually,
No, but I love that theater so much, and that was some friendly passing Australians asked me why I had so many flowers, and I said I've just made my Broadway debut, and there I was just going home on my own, and they made the biggest deal, me and the Aussies. It was just awesome.
and you've gotten to do so many other fun gigs. I mean, when I look at the list of shows, you know, Shrek and Jersey Boys and On the Town and Dirty Dancing and Guys and Dolls, and not only just here in the United States, but over in the West End, which does some of the greatest art in the world as well. And then you come along and you join Frozen.
Yeah.
And we love the cast of Frozen here on the Roundtable. And what was it like? And then you become the dance captain of Frozen.
Yeah.
So all of the big principal actors in Frozen, the Caseys and the Pattys and the Jelanis, etc., John, and then all of that ensemble.
Yeah.
How do you become for the students watching? How do you become a dance captain? What is the role of a dance captain? Mm-hmm. I know because every musical I've been in, I've been the thorn in the dance captain's side.
No.
So what is the job, and how did you get the job?
Well, it's funny because in the UK, this is not what I did. On Broadway, I've always been swing and dance captain. In the West End, I was always in the ensemble and understudying one of the principals, or a couple of them. And I worked for someone called Rob Ashford for the first time a long, long time ago in Guys and Dolls at the Piccadilly Theatre in the West End. And I loved working for him. He actually, I think he and Casey Nicola, our director choreographer, did shows together. So it's amazing that generation grew up together, and now they're pretty much, running Broadway, which is so cool. But Rob was a swing dance captain. And then when I moved to New York, it's so important to have someone that you can trust as a dance captain and understands your ideas. And when be it the choreographer, well, mostly for a dance captain, the choreographer, when they're not there, you can maintain the show with their ideas, with integrity, and you're able to pass on their ideas and direction to the cast in the most loving but sincere and direct way possible. So you need good people skills. You need to be super organized. You need to not be afraid of hard work. You have to use your brain, which I love. I love to do all those things. And being a swing is pretty challenging, learning the show from every kind of aspect. But that's great. As soon as you understand everyone's role in the show, then it just clicks into place. And then it becomes easier in a weird way.
It's a piece of cake. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. But the more you do, the easier it gets. But Rob Ashford first asked me to become dance captain. But there's not many people that really seek out the dance captain role for all the things I just said. But if that's something you're interested in, then there's definitely a place for you, and with more experience, you just hopefully get better at it.
So do you call a dance call every show?
Most shows, if there's a swing going in, we'll do lifts to make sure we're safe and secure. I'll watch the show as much as possible without trying to, sometimes you can go show blind if you watch it too much. Mm-hmm. But I'll try and focus on certain elements. First of all, we have to make sure everyone's safe. So I'll try and correct small issues there. Make sure we're all doing the same thing, of course. And then just make sure the overall feel of the show is good. That's important. But if there's swings going in, we'll review stuff like that. Understudies going on, then we will, especially in these early days, we've had a lot of people go on without having run the whole show. So they were just phenomenal. So we're so lucky with our cast.
Yeah. Well, my question to you is, as the dance captain and as someone who is a choreographer, and Casey, legendary, yeah. Broadway, legendary.
Yeah.
How do you allow as the dance captain, keeping notes, making sure the show keeps its integrity and follows the blocking and the choreography to it. But also people have personalities. People add a little. What is the rule for you when is too much too much?
I mean, you know it when you see it. But I think it's. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Where did we just go? Someone was trying to call me. I think when a really key thing about Casey's shows is that everybody is super individual, and that's part of the reason that they're there. That is common to all Broadway shows, but some shows are more people have the same kind of sensibility of something. In Casey shows, we're all directed the same way, but he really celebrates individuals. And so you don't want to get rid of too much of that. And especially with our show, parts of it really shouldn't look too clean because you want it to have that authentic feel. So that's wonderful. And also, I think our cast are super professional. A lot of them are seasoned performers, and so they self-regulate anyway. And people will know if one moment has become slightly too like maybe pulling a little bit too much focus. And everyone is so good about taking notes and understanding the bigger picture. Casey creates that from day one, and our two associates, John McGinnis and Steve Bebout, they do a great job also of maintaining the show, making sure we're always reminded of the bigger picture and trying to tell the story in those terms. So, I mean, but it is fun to catch people in those moments when they might not realize it's quite so big. But yeah, it's also live theater. So
it's live theater. Well, this is, if I may take a moment to express what I saw when I went and saw the show.
Please.
I love Mark Shaman, and like I said, he's been here, and I went to the show thinking, it's a show based on a movie from a long time ago. It's a topic that can be very taboo in certain ways, if not handled well. It has a beautiful, amazing cast, and the show is handled with such heart and leading with care and compassion and inclusivity at its core. And it made me smile, and it made me laugh, and it made me see some of the best performers in the world dance their asses off on stage and sing their faces off on stage. And it was reminiscent of a true big Broadway blockbuster for a modern time. That is, wow. And I was very moved and left feeling like I had a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's exactly what we were aiming for. That's what we try for every night. And I know everyone in the building feels super proud of trying to get that message across. One of inclusivity. But yeah, and exactly like you say, trying to bring a classic, wonderful story into the current day. And yeah, all those performers, our leads, are just incredible and doing that in their own way with their own flair. And no two performances are the same. That's really, really quite amazing that they keep all those moments alive. And
I'm exhausted for Jay and Christian. I'm exhausted. Jay will be on with us, by the way, everyone, in 2 weeks. I just want everyone to know. I ask you this question: did a lot of the ensemble and the principals have serious tap experience, or was that part of the choreography, was to brush them up and get them up to speed with the choreography of tap that is required in this show?
I think the product that you see on stage of the amazing level that everyone has got to is, I hope no one minds me saying, is more a result of hard work than something that they came in with.
Sure.
Which is even more admirable, because that shows the level of dedication and also the level of trust that Casey has. He was just like, yeah, but people will work hard and they will get it. And it makes it even more rewarding, I think, for people. And then you feel so proud to see people put in that kind of work to get there. And it just shows you, even as people that have been in the business, some people in our cast have been in the business for for decades. And then to be developing new skills, I think that is really admirable.
So what was it like being in all the dance rehearsals because as the dance captain and seeing Casey work and seeing the cast work and what was the biggest takeaway you learned as a choreographer seeing the process in the room?
I mean, Casey works at lightning speed because that's how fast his brain goes, and he likes to keep seeing the big picture, and he really trusts that people will get there, and his associates and dance captain will get people there in time. That was, excuse me, remarkable to see. Just, I totally understood that he just keeps his eye on the big picture at all times. So is also it's a different position being director and choreographer. Mm-hmm. So you can see the big picture, keep telling the story in that way, and the rest falls into place. And because he's done this many, many times, he understands the process so well. Other people prefer to perfect detail as they go along. That's not the way that Casey works. And so that was different from ways that I've worked before. Sometimes people really like to work on just one number for a long, long time. And so this was the first time I'd worked big picture, just keep pushing forward. And then you see the results that you can get. No way is right or wrong. It's just different. And so that was in the beginning challenging. So you have to get on board because the train is going. And yeah. And so you have to go with it and also trust your own brain that I can do this. I'm good at this on some level. And so it will all fall into place. And of course it does. It really does.
Well, everybody that's watching, from no matter where you are, if you have a plan, if you live in the tri-state area, if you plan on coming to New York City, look, the pictures are beautiful. The show is beautiful. Some Like It Hot is playing right this very second. You need to go to someLikeItHotmusical.com, grab your tickets, go enjoy a full theatrical experience. It's one of the most classic theaters, one of the most classic storytelling movies of all time, put on stage with some great music and incredible dancing. And if you want to follow what Ashley's up to next, I'm sure she's just starting. She's got 87 musical theater credits, but she's going to be choreographing. Her shows will be choreographed on Broadway. She'll be dancing across Broadway and around the world. You could get more information, follow her on Instagram at Ashley Elizabeth Hale, or you can go to her website at ashleyelizabethhale.com. You're such a pleasure. I feel like I got a little inside scoop onto what was all going on when they put their tap shoes on in that dress in that rehearsal room.
Yeah, and sweat.
I'm looking forward to seeing this show March to June through the award season and beyond, and for all of you, because congratulations, it's such a job well done, and it was such a pleasure to see it.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled that you enjoyed it. Yeah, I hope everyone comes to see it. Yeah, we're having a blast.
Thank you for today. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. She's so cute. I love her. And she can dance her teeth out. And the dancing on stage over there at the Some Like It Hot is bananas. Woo, can't do it. Yes, it was in my classroom, Kevin. It was in the classroom while you guys went to lunch. Sometimes we like to have a little interview while the kids go to lunch because we got to squeeze it in somehow. Some Like It Hot is the show to see. It sure is. Interesting conversation with Ashley. Happy for all her fabulous opportunities and her successes. My friend Christine over there in North Carolina. Yeah, I do. I really like the show. So I suggest I do root for it. It's been my fave, but there's more to see. I'll be seeing Anne Juliet this week and next week and Thursday. We will start the week of all of the Broadway theater greatness that is to come in February. So next week on Thursday, don't miss 4 of the principal casts of the new smash and Juliet, which is the music of Max Martin. So they're singing Kesha and Brittany and the Backstreet Boys and all of that fun stuff. So if you want to hear all about this next new Broadway show, I'm going to tell you all about the best Broadway shows. Listen, there are other people out there telling you about Broadway. There are other people there telling you about music. There are other people telling you about actors and artists. But this is the place where we really get to know them for who they are. I have great shows planned for you, and I appreciate you all so much for coming. There's so much coming. up down the pike. So go to robertbannon.com. Robertbannon.com is also being rejudged for new albums and new things. And I appreciate you. I was a little mushy. I was a little emotional. Lots of things are going on in this world. It's January. It's cold. We're all seasonal affective disorder. We're all done with the holidays. We're all trying to make it out of this mess together. So just hold on to one another, love one another, be kind to one another. And as always, you know what I say. What do I say? The best is yet to come. And that it sure is. God bless you. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you again real soon next week, only here on the Roundtable. Good night, everyone.